Number 2 tip, be timely. Post when people are also online. And the reason for this is because you have to defeat the enemy. The enemy is the algorithm of Facebook, the algorithm of Instagram. When people are mostly offline, your chances of getting seen also goes down. So here's an example. This is a compilation of our top 30 companies that we have catered to since 2013. So we are also a consulting company that helps on managing Facebook, Instagram, and all these other accounts of other companies. And we've noticed that there is a pattern on when the customers and the viewers of their fans check out their Facebook pages. You will notice that there's a spike. There's one in the morning when people wake up because that's when they are stuck commuting. So a lot of them are stuck in their homes. Another time is during lunch because that's when people are finally able to open their social media accounts again after being stuck with their work. You will notice that there's a dip during siesta time, and sometimes that's when people are hurrying up to finish their work so they can go home. And finally, the last part that you will notice here is the evening time. That's around 8, 9 o'clock, which by the way is the same time which we call as prime time in television and radio. So that's the few hours before we sleep, because we usually get ourselves entertained before we sleep, right? One of the last things that we do before we go to bed is check our Facebook accounts. So these are the best times to post. These are the times where you have a higher chance and probability that people will be able to see your post as well. All right. So when is the worst time to post? Obviously, you know this, after midnight, unless of course your target market could probably be call center agents who may be checking their Facebook accounts at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Or let's say, for example, if you are in the Philippines and your target market are in Dubai, which is 4 hours behind, posting something at 2 a.m. means that these guys are going to be seeing it by 10 o'clock, for example, in the evening, which could still be a prime time for them. So you have to be very strategic with your posts, and the timing matters. Here's one more example. This is a study by oberlo.com. You can also see the same infographic that they have for Facebook and for Twitter. The best time to post for LinkedIn usually happens during weekdays. And the reason for that is because most people check their LinkedIn accounts also when they are working, because it's a work-related account. Saturday and Sunday are the worst times. And I've also noticed this, guys, because our company posts a lot on LinkedIn. We get lesser likes, lesser comments on weekends as well. And similarly, we also noticed that the morning is the best time to post something on LinkedIn. Most people will not check their LinkedIn accounts during working hours. And the reason for that is because their bosses or their colleagues might think that they might be applying for a new job. So some of them will check it around near lunchtime. It could be over their phones. And some of them will likely not check on their desktop because that's an easy thing to spot and be seen by your manager, for example. All right. So just to give you a flavor, that timing is really of the essence. So this is not just about, let me just get this out of the way and let me post this now. But it's 3 o'clock p.m. and it's a bad time to post because not everyone is likely going to be online. You have to stop that impulse and instead post at the time when people are mostly online, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, or 9 o'clock. Now you might ask, John, but I'm not always available at that time. I also have other things to do. I have family, I have my personal errands. What if I'm not available at 9 o'clock p.m.? Well, if that is the case, and we will be discussing this, by the way, in our premium session, if you are interested, on May 7, premium session meaning it's our paid webinar, by the way. But just to give you a quick brush up about this, there are softwares that allows you to schedule your posts. So for example, it has blank fields. You put the photo, you put the caption, you decide the time and the date, you click enter. And even if you're still sleeping, or even if you're not in front of your computer desk or your laptop or your phone, it gets posted. So there are a lot of them online. One of my favorite apps is Postfitty. Another is One App. There's also Buffer, and there's also Hootsuite, for example. All right. Let's look at one more question, guys. How would you know what time most of the people visit Facebook or IG? Very good question from Hazel. Hazel, if you are using a Facebook page, All right. So I'm saying this is only available for Facebook page owners, not for personal Facebook accounts. If you go to settings, you go to admin, there is a part there that shows you the statistics of how many people visit and at what time of the day do they usually visit. So you get to see them for free. All right.